Hey, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another pregnancy update. So I'm at 7 weeks now and I feel completely different than I did at 5 weeks, which felt completely different than 6 weeks. So I feel like things are gonna really start to change. So without further ado, let's get into my 5 and 6 week pregnancy update. Yay! So I've got my phone and I've been taking notes for you of all my symptoms. So I thought that we would start at 5 weeks. 5 weeks was okay. It was a little bit difficult, but it wasn't as bad as 6 weeks. 6 weeks was a really tough one actually so far. So 5 weeks I was having a lot of trouble falling asleep at night. I could be super tired, but I just felt like I couldn't get comfortable. Like it felt very strange to lie on my stomach, felt strange to lie on my side. I just, no matter how I positioned myself, I just couldn't get comfortable. Once I fell asleep, I was good, and you know, I wasn't waking up too much at all in the night, and but I was getting up at like 7:30 in the morning, so I wasn't ever feeling fully rested. But I think I was falling asleep like after midnight a lot of times. The next symptom is one that has not gone away. Out of breath very easily. Oh my goodness, this is strange. Like, going up the stairs, our house is 3 levels, so we have 2 sets of stairs, and that is a lot. And even just like sitting and talking to you, I feel like it's using a lot of my breath. So that's one symptom that even now, it's crazy. That was like one of the first symptoms I had, and it is carrying through. The next thing that I've noticed was, especially at 5 weeks, I had a lot of cramping. Like I had cramping pretty much all day, every day. It wasn't anything crazy, like it would kind of go up and down in its intenseness, but for the most part it was this like dull ache that I felt throughout the day, and then the odd time it would kind of come up. I definitely noticed it at night a lot more. This one's a little TMI, so I apologize, but I always felt like I had to poop. Like, always, no matter what. Just constantly going through the day in my 5th week thinking that I had to go do a number 2. It was so frustrating. I felt like I was always running to the bathroom. Even when I didn't have to go, it just felt like it. So it was it was strange. Super, super sore and swollen breasts. Oh my gosh, like this has been crazy. Like my breasts have gone up in like a couple sizes. I feel like they are monsters. They look okay right now because I just recently got a new bra and it has changed everything for me. It's a NYX bra. I'll link it down below. It is so comfortable. It's like got thicker straps. It's got a higher cut, so it really helps with the cleavage. Okay, this is one. During the 5th week, I did not at all have a strong desire to eat. Like I had no appetite, especially first thing in the morning. I didn't want to eat anything. Like I felt really a little bit, not really, but just like a little nauseous, a little queasy, but just no appetite at all. And it kind of would get better throughout the day, but basically I was kind of force feeding myself, and I was trying not to be hard on myself because it's so weird. Like I've heard a lot of people say this about the first trimester. Like I don't want healthy things. I don't want smoothies. I don't want veggies. I don't want fruit. I just want like carbs. Carbs and sugar. And meat. I really want meat. But at first I was, you know, feeling really guilty and would like force feed myself smoothies and stuff, and then I would just feel really sick, and now I'm just like, just gonna go with the flow, because they say that the 2nd trimester is the honeymoon phase of your pregnancy and your appetite comes back and you have energy, and I'm holding out for that. But for now, I'm eating English muffins with peanut butter and cereal in the morning. That's usually what it's been. Okay, and the last major symptom of 5 weeks was a very dry throat and a very dry mouth, like always feeling like I needed to take a sip of water. It just felt so dry, just always thirsty. No matter how much water I drank, it would never quench it. So I guess it's kind of a good thing because it meant I was drinking more water, but quite annoying. Okay, so those are the main symptoms in my 5th week. And again, 5th week was pretty good. It was just a little bit, It was a bit of a struggle just because of my appetite and my sleeping, because it was just so hard to fall asleep. But other than that, like, my mood was pretty good in my 5th week. It just felt normal for the most part. 6 weeks is when we had some interesting symptoms. I feel like this is when the symptoms really started, was at 6 weeks. So the first big thing was the fatigue really started to kick in. And sometimes I wouldn't even realize that I was fatigued, but then I would catch myself being like, I haven't gotten off the couch all day. Like, and I just would have no desire to move, no desire to get up, to get dressed, to like put makeup on, just so tired. And I remember like I felt a little bit of guilt throughout the 6th week because my workout schedule has just completely like been messed up, because I don't know what each day is going to be like. And it sounds so simple to just be like, just push through it. But it's really hard to push through it, and I'm trying to go easy on myself, and so there's a lot of lazy days in 6 weeks, in the 6th week. The out of breath, again, that's something that stayed with me. Super out of breath. Like, anytime David and I go on runs now, I have to really slow my pace down just because my breath, again, even talking right now, it's crazy. So I still had lots of cramping, but just not as much as week 5. So I could go a day without feeling any cramps. Or if I did have cramps that day, it would be like just at random times of the day. It wouldn't be the whole day through. It would just be like, oh, okay, I feel you, baby C. And then nothing. And then later on, like, oh, okay, yeah, you're growing. My uterus is expanding. So yeah, the cramping was not as bad as week 5. Breasts still super sore, still super swollen, except I started noticing in this 6th week that they would go up and down, if that makes sense. So there'd be some days where like around the edge here, it would feel so swollen. And then the next day they would almost go back to normal. So that was the first time I'd noticed like major fluctuations in the size and the swelling, the swelling. So that was very interesting. I still had that lack of appetite in the morning. I still felt super queasy. Yeah, I was still eating the same kinds of things like toast, English muffin with peanut butter. I got into pancakes. I have like the Kodiak protein pancakes, so I have a couple of those in the morning. Just trying to find a way to get some protein in now so that I would just have something in me, and once the afternoon hit, normally I would get my appetite back. This one was funny, and I messaged a few of my friends who have had babies before, and I was like, why did no one tell me about this symptom? Burping. Like, uncontrollable burping. Like, I can burp at any time. It is so embarrassing. Like, David and I will just be standing there talking, or we'll be eating dinner or something, and I'll just let out the loudest burp, and he's like, what? So the burping that's been strange. It's kind of let up now, but week 6 I was burping. In the 6th week, that was where I really started to notice like the mood changes that everyone tells you about. I would find that I would be super moody. Like, I remember like there was one day where I got so mad about something that normally I wouldn't get mad about at all. And even David looked at me, he's like, are you really mad about this? And I was like, yeah. And I was pissed. And then it wasn't until later on that I was just like, oh, that was a weird thing to be mad about. So it's like, it goes from like 0 to 100. And then along with the moodiness, and I don't know if I feel like this isn't something that gets talked about too much, so I really wanted to talk about it, was like those days where you feel super depressed. I had a bunch of those days during my 6th week, and they are hard because in the moment, it just feels like the world is ending. It feels like nothing can make you burp. Feels like nothing can make you happy. And it's not till the next day where you're feeling a little bit better that you remember like, okay, that's just my hormones. My body is changing. I'm growing a human. Like, I'm gonna have ups and downs. But the mood changes and the depression it was really hard for me in the 6th week. So I just wanted to let you know that that was a symptom that I felt, so that if you're feeling that way too, it's totally normal. And just really, when you have those days, just just relax, just veg. Like I would just watch MasterChef on Netflix, curled up in a blanket on the couch with my animals, you know, and then hope that the next day was a bit better. And then now when I have good days, I really try and take advantage of them, because I know that not every day I'm gonna feel like this with this energy and this happiness, you know? So just go easy on yourself. That's my big piece of advice with that. Okay, and then the last thing that I noticed in the 6th week was I got my first food aversion. And I remember thinking, like, what is this gonna feel like? I've never, like, I've gone through not wanting a certain food before, but I've never had like an aversion to something. I remember I was cooking ground turkey, and I was making these like breakfast burritos, and I was cooking the turkey, and as I was smelling the turkey, it just was the most disgusting smell to me. Like I was just like, oh, like I felt so queasy suddenly from smelling this turkey. And I was like, okay, that's strange. Anyway, cooked the turkey, made the burritos, went on with my day. I cooked turkey again because we had a bunch of frozen turkey, like ground turkey in the freezer, because we kind of switched between buying frozen turkey or ground turkey and ground beef. So we're in our ground turkey little phase. I made like pasta sauce with the ground turkey, and it was so hard to eat because it just was so gross to me. And then even now, the thought of ground turkey, oh, it's just like a regular turkey, like turkey breast, turkey meat, like a roasted turkey is fine. But it's the ground turkey right now that's just like, oh, it's not doing me any favors. So we are now buying ground beef. And I got my first craving in my 6th week, and that was for poutine. This baby can't crave salads, can it? Poutine. And mint chocolate chip ice cream, which is my favorite kind of ice cream, so that doesn't really sound like a craving, but I needed it so bad one time that David and I went to Marble Slab to get ice cream, and I was gonna get like the mint ice cream and put chocolate chips in it, and they didn't have any mint ice cream. And normally, a normal Lauren would just get something else. Like David had already got his ice cream because I was the second person to order. And a normal Lauren would have just picked another flavor, but I looked at him and I was like, I'm so sorry, we have to go to another Marble Slab. I have to have mint ice cream. Like, that's the flavor I need. So we drove across town to another Marble Slab so I could get my mint chocolate chip ice cream. It was different for me because, again, it's my favorite flavor, but if they don't have it, I'll just get something else. But I couldn't get something else. And then the poutine, oh my gosh, the poutine was so funny because I had a craving for like chip truck style poutine. So it was like the fresh cut fries with cheese curds with a beef gravy. I didn't want a vegetarian gravy, I wanted that dark beef gravy. So we went to a place here and David ordered me a poutine, and it was a vegetarian gravy, and I was like, okay, this is good, but it's not fulfilling what I need. So then a few days later we found like a chip truck that served poutine, and I ordered a poutine, and it was still a light colored gravy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's not that this isn't good, but I need to get this craving out of my system. And then finally last week my friend Lily and I, we had a little social distance date, and we went for poutine, and I finally got that beef gravy, and I was just like, oh, okay, finally I can put this craving to rest. I have had the beef gravy. So now that I'm talking about poutine, I kind of want it again, but I just thought that was funny. Like, I'm now starting to understand cravings. Like the other day, I needed pizza so bad that I waited until 11 a.m. until Domino's opened, and I ordered pizza. Like, it was that strong, and I couldn't think about anything else. So the food stuff has been very interesting, but I feel like I should stop talking now. This video is very long, and it's just me rambling. So yeah, that was 5 and 6 weeks. Oh, and I guess we gotta do the bump date, right? Best part of the whole video. I'll just warn you, I don't have a bump yet. I think I'm just bloated, but let me just... Okay, so this is me with pants on. Again, it's just like, I think it's just bloating. I'll pull my... Like, there's this, but I think I'm just bloated, to be honest. But yeah, that's the bump date for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really hope that you liked it. Please remember to hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this. And I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. No joke, I feel like this cleavage is gonna be my giveaway because I'm still not telling anyone yet, so I'm keeping it a secret. And it's crazy because I'll be filming videos or, you know, taking photos or, you know, being on my story, and it's just like, boobs. David thinks that when I finally make the announcement, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, we knew. Those boobs.